Thanks to the performers for warming the mic. You set the bar high, and I'm just the next guy to step on the stage, so I'll turn the page and let's begin. I'll jump right in. Hello everyone, I'm Conor. I'm a poet from Marlow, but I live in Barcelona, so I'm just back here for a little bit. Tonight's a special night because it's the first time that my dad in the audience is watching me perform, so shout out to all the mums and dads in the audience. Yeah, so I've got a few poems for you today. I like to write stupid poems about characters doing weird things. So the first one is called Angry Mosquito. It's about a happy parrot. No, it's not. It's about an angry mosquito. The second one is called Sweet Little Roach, and it's about a cockroach with an ulterior motive. The third one, I'll introduce that afterwards, because otherwise it's just going to confuse everyone. You're going to have to remember everything already, and I'll just tell you later. But before I start, I just want to explain something weird that's been happening to me recently. So, sometimes when I'm writing or typing, after excitement from rhyming, something quite frightening happens, and I'm struggling to hold it together. But now I'm stuck in the rhyme, I'm running out of time, I'm losing my mind. Please call 999, it's an emergency line. They'll tell you I'm fine, but I'm losing my mind. I'm running out of time, I'm stuck in the rhyme. And I'm wasting my time. Please call the helpline and report a crime, because the rhyme has hijacked my mind and I'm finding it hard to stop. Just needed to introduce my flow, so off I'll go with Angry Mosquito. What you saying, fella, with your nasty citronella? It's a hell of a smell and I don't like it. I'll bite you just to spite you. I'll smite you, drink your blood. Thug life, I'll juice your wife. Don't need a knife to leave a wound. I'll have you itching your scratch and scratching your itch, you son of a bitch. But don't snitch though, cause I'm an angry mosquito with a venomous flow straight from the ghetto. I'll make you choke. But you know what's scarier? Malaria and dengue. Better run and pray when I come out to play, cause there's no hiding, no never. You think you're clever with your mosquitera, but I'm one step ahead of you. I'm in your bed again, plotting my attack while you're on your back resting. Catching some Z's, I'm having sweet dreams, I'm under the seams, fiending for that AB positive. It's my prerogative to bother you, so in your ears I'll buzz, cuz, till you've had enough. I'll have you climbing the walls, looking the fools, searching for where I'm perching. I'm smirking. If I had ribs, they'd be hurting from laughing. I'm having a blast and it's past your bedtime, but you can't sleep, not even a wink, cause every time you blink, I'm back for another drink, and I'll drink until you're pink, and I won't relinquish this torture like Chinese water till you're raw and pissed off. Then off I'll go to find a new hoe and start all over again. Say amen. So that was Angry Mosquito. Now, along with the theme of the insects, we're on to Sweet Little Roach. They call me the six-legged demon, the unkillable heathen, but all for no reason, cause I'm just a sweet little roach, but whenever I approach, I'm hunted. You see, we're not wanted. Wherever we're seen, they run and they scream, words loud and obscene, so mean. They hurt my feelings, so I run to the ceilings and hide. Till the time is right, under cover of night, I start the moonlight shift. You see, at nighttime I go creeping, and sit on your face while you're sleeping. Not sexual, my testicles are flexible. True fact. And best of all, I leave my mess on your face and head back to my place with a smile on my face. I leave no trace. You see, it's the act of love, the utmost respect from the one insect that the world rejects. But what do you expect? You see, we love you, but you don't love us. You treat us with disgust, you make such a fuss. But when you're all gone after a nuclear bomb from a Cold War gone wrong, we'll be free. No more hating, I'm done waiting for the emancipation of the cockroach nation in a world of blissful radiation. Picture this for a new world order, a new beginning for our sons and daughters. No more slaughter with your chemical warfare and bug spray. One can only pray for the coming day, the rise of the cockroach race. Too long have the lizards reigned, now I'll proclaim a new world state. Queen Elizabeth, step aside, you've had a good ride, and Joe, bide in his time. But when I send out the call, we'll crawl from the walls and fight, unite. So, next time you see me, just stop your screaming and smile, and just for a while, pretend that I'm your friend, or you might just meet your end. So this next one is totally different. I just finished it today, so apologies, I'll have to read it. Maybe it's because I hang out with too many poets and comedians are a bit tapped in the head. Am I right, Matt, wherever you are? But people are talking a lot about overthinking at the moment, overthinking, overanalyzing, stress, anxiety, all these things. So I wrote a little piece about overthinking. So it goes like this. Racing thoughts from 0 to 100. It's no wonder you're stressed and depressed, because there's no rest for the brain on the bullet train with pain as the final destination. But you don't have to wait for that station, because there's plenty of stops on the way and alternative locations to stay in. No point waiting for the inevitable. They say it's the journey, not the destination, but it's fate that's waiting for you, and each winding path leading from every station brings new challenges to face and new opportunities for seizing. You best start believing in yourself, because you're driving the train, and good conduct's what brings you luck and fame. Not necessarily the fame with thousands screaming your name, but fame within the game of life, with those striving to rise up the scene and be the best human beings the world's ever seen. So overthinking, anxiety and stress, it may not seem it, but they can be a blessing in disguise, as you overanalyze life instead of letting it pass by unnoticed. The extra energy for stressing is a blessing, but when you learn to stop fretting, that energy is left spare. So don't despair. The anxious brain just lacks some training, and it's truly amazing what it's capable of when it's treated with love and respect, like a pet that needs food, walk and rest. And if you're depressed, it's the same situation. You're stuck ruminating and hating yourself. As your thoughts turn dark, you're stuck in the past, outcasting yourself and running from help as you melt through the cracks in the sofa. But when it's all over and you're back in one piece, you look over your shoulder and see the smouldering remains as the pain burns away, and you're left wiser and older. It's not pleasant, this death and resurrection, but I'm telling you, it'll get better. Thank you. Now this final one is a lot more light-hearted. So it's actually it's like a children's poem book thing that when I was about 6 or 7, I came up with the idea, and I remember getting a little gold star at school and going to the head teacher and being really happy about it, because I was usually there in trouble and I got this one gold star. And it's about these two wobbly teeth, Mr. and Mrs Wobbly, who fall out and go on a little adventure. So I wrote it like a couple of years ago, and then haven't really done much with it since, but I want to get it illustrated and turned into a little book. So this one I haven't learned off by heart either yet, shamefully, but I will read it out for you. I hope you like it. Mr. and Mrs Wobbly were hanging one day, when Mr Wobbly felt shaky, and to his wife he did say, "Mrs Wobbly, I think I'll fall out very soon, fall out into the world with the sun and the moon." Mrs Wobbly was excited for some peace at last. She could wobble alone and remember her past. Mr Wobbly was loud and he talked all the time. He kept her awake at night until 9:30. The Wobblies had plans to go to a faraway land, to spend their days by the sea and the sand. Mr Wobbly had already bought his sunglasses, and Mrs Wobbly planned to take swimming classes. On a Monday morning, Mr Wobbly fell out. His pet human Billy was happy and he gave a big shout. "Mother, mother, Mr Wobbly fell out today. Now the tooth fairy can come and take him away." "That's excellent news," said Mother to Billy. "But Mother, without Mr Wobbly, won't I look silly?" "No," said Mother, "as it's only for a while, until a new tooth grows and fills that smile." That night Mr Wobbly slept under Billy's head. Billy was snoring all night and shaking the bed, when in through the window came the Tooth Fairy, with a twinkly wand and a badge that said Mary. "Hello, Mr. Wobbly, you must come with me. We will fly away now to the sand and the sea." Mr. Wobbly smiled as he pictured his new life. Then panicked a moment as he remembered his wife. "But what about Mrs. Wobbly?" he said to Mary. "Can't you magic her with us? You are a fairy." Mary waved her wand and spoke out loud, speaking to the Queen Fairy that lives in the clouds. "Hello there, Queen, can you hear me? Shall I bring Mrs. Wobbly or leave her be?" The Queen appeared in front of their eyes, wearing a hat and a moustache as part of a disguise. When she's out of the clouds, she has to hide and keep her bodyguards close by her side. The Queen said, "I'm sorry, Mary, but you must not forget. You cannot take Mrs. Wobbly, it's not her time yet. She has to stay with her human till the time is right. Then you can sneak in and take her away one night." So off they flew away into the sky. Mrs. Wobbly shouted as she waved him goodbye. "Have fun, Mr. Wobbly, I'll see you soon." And they faded away with the stars and the moon. They arrived in Tooth Town in the middle of a cloud. Mary dropped Mr. Wobbly and shouted aloud, "Goodbye, Mr. Wobbly, and enjoy your new life. We will meet again when I bring you your wife." Mr. Wobbly was ecstatic. He jumped up and down. He had finally arrived in the land of Tooth Town. He had waited a lifetime for the chance to see the magical land where all teeth want to be. Mr. Wobbly was chatting, making friends with ease, dancing around between the toothbrush trees. He was skipping along and grinning with glee when finally he arrived at the mouthwash sea. He pulled out his sunglasses and gave a big sigh, thinking of his life that had passed him by. His pet human was good and had treated him well, so he was taken to Tooth Heaven instead of Tooth Hell. A few weeks later, Mrs. Wobbly was singing when she was rudely disturbed by the telephone ringing. She picked up the phone and growled a yes, and the voice that responded, "Well, I bet you can guess." "Hello, Mrs. Wobbly, how I've missed you. I tried calling many times, but I couldn't get through. I can't wait to see you. I hope it is soon that you fly up to Tooth Town between the stars and the moon." Thank you, everyone. And if anyone knows people that like to do animations or illustrations or anything like that, then chat to me, because I'm always looking for collaborations and anything like that. And thanks everyone for having me here.